Back in 2019, Shashi and I, who'd worked before, we had a meeting at the Bista services, during which he put together this diagram and said to me, Streetworks is a problem and I need you to go and come up with solutions for this problem. And to me, that was back to basics, understanding all the different challenges around Streetworks. And we ended up with Opus. So the genesis of Opus was a piece of paper with multiple lines on it, which indicated the total number of challenges that was with the Streetworks operations. Now, Streetworks is a poor cousin of works management. We have a whole bunch of solutions for works management. And all of a sudden, Shashi was like, I need you to fix Streetworks because Streetworks is the rate determining step for works management. That was the genesis of Opus. I looked at that diagram and I went, I don't know anything about Streetworks. And part of the advantages of working for Skewb is the fact that we have experts, practitioners who've worked in different areas, Streetworks being one of them, and people like me who can solve problems. And the combination of those two is where Opus came into being. And we have a really, truly differentiated product in Opus, which I think the key people who are working on Opus are here to discuss with me. So I am Vince Nwana. I am a product design director at Skewb. I am a Skewber number 3. So I joined the company very, very early on. So I've been through the evolution of both the products and services at Skewb. And I am delighted to introduce you to Soumya and Lucy, who know everything about Opus, and I just make sure that I orchestrate them. So can you introduce yourself, Soumya?
Hi, I'm Soumya Kaushik, a product owner for Opus, all the suite of products within Streetworks. That's me.
Lucy, what about you?
Hi, Lucy Mason. I'm the Strategic Projects Director, so been working closely with Opus in recent months and years to deliver the best that we possibly can for our customers.
What these two ladies are not telling you is that they are absolute experts at Streetworks. So one of the advantages we have with Lucy and the team is that she's had a full end-to-end experience of Streetworks from working on the highway authority side all the way through to deploying Opus within clients. So could you tell us through your background in Streetworks and how this is having an impact on Opus as a product?
So back in 1990, I started work. It was a long time ago. And probably about 1993, New Rules and Streetworks Act first came in, replacing the old PUSWA days. And I was part of a highway authority at that time. And we were looking at how we could implement all of the new rules that came in with the New Rules and Streetworks Act. So I spent a couple of years as admin assistant. And then I could see what the inspectors were doing. I was really inspired by all of that work, got my qualifications, and then went out on the road as a highway inspector, became the Streetworks manager, and ended up supporting some of the work of the DFT to actually draft the codes of practice for the Traffic Management Act during that inception. So a lot of work in a highway authority guise, and then I flipped over working for a water contractor and looking at how we could help them to improve their compliance and improve the quality of the works that they were doing so that they were in line with the legislation. And to cut a long story short, I'm now at Skewb and I'm helping our clients, who are mostly utility companies and their contractors, to also comply with the legislation and reduce the cost of failure through using our products.
Thank you, Lucy. Soumya, I know you've recently also had a product management course that you went through at King's College London, I think it was. Yes. Could you tell us how your background in that, along with your Streetworks background, which I think you work in Thames Water, how that's come together to make you a wonderful product owner for this product?
Yeah, I'll start a little bit even before that. So I used to be a wastewater SME at my previous employer, Thames Water. And then I made a career change into business change and transformation, which is where then I got to work on Street Manager Go Live in 2020. And that was my kind of turning point where I could see how many problems were there and how a large utility company has got multiple contractors, multiple internal teams, and how they all have to orchestrate and coordinate streetworks, which is quite a bit of a challenge. So when I came into Opus, that was my kind of like an eye-opening point in my career where I could see that whatever problems I'd seen before had already been solved to a large extent within Opus, and it was really good to see that. And then when I went on the product management course, it's given me more of an insight around how does the wider industry work within digital and product management, and what kind of insights we can actually bring into Opus and other products we work in Skewb Digital.
We distilled the challenges that were in the complex diagram that we had from Shashi into 4 main client challenges. Those were around reducing the fines that the utility companies were paying, and we're talking significant 6-figure amounts per annum that companies pay. So reducing fines and penalties was the first one. Improving the efficiency of operations was the second kind of lens that we were looking at for Opus. The third lens was also improving the efficiency between the contractors and the utility companies. And finally, we were looking at essentially innovating and disrupting the streetworks process, because a lot of the senior folk within utilities companies did not understand the impact of streetworks on their work. So we had those 4 lenses that then led us to creating 6 distinct products, because those products actually mean different things to the different parts of the organization. So Soumya, as a product owner, do you want to just give us a little view on what those 6 products do and what the differentiators are within those products?
Yeah, I'll start with the Workbench, which is our key product used by our clients to create and manage permits. The key differentiator, I would say, we follow Street Manager business rules, workflows. Everything is available in Workbench. The other key thing is all our workflows are compliant with the Red Book. Anything that the streetworks personnel have to make a decision on, it's already got that intelligence built into the product, so that number of mistakes are reduced, or workflows almost direct the users in such a way that they actually make the right decision at every point. We've also got easy to use filters, and I think I would say most of the Opus products cover this, where we have the best of both worlds. We bring in Street Manager elements, but also have the capability to provide custom built functionality with filters, access control, notifications and alerts and things like that. So that's Workbench. Next, we've got Permit Manager, which is all to do with how users can actually manage their permits, do jeopardy management within the system, look at each journey, each permit in terms of its entire end-to-end journey, and look at how can they reduce their fines through closures due and things like that. The other product we've got is a Start-Stop Manager with a desktop and a mobile version, which really brings the field and the office workforce together to manage permits and reduce FPNs and overruns. Another key product is Cost and Penalty Manager, which is one of the unique offerings we've got, where we can allow users to upload their invoices, which come in from various highway authorities with all kinds of templates. There is no consistency in process within the industry, but we've managed to build some intelligence into the product where it is able to ingest all that data and then create charges and invoices and put in a streamlined workflow to then go and integrate that with a finance module. So we have integration capability with various systems like SAP, Salesforce, Maximo, or even Big Change, various systems. Yeah, and I'll now talk about reporting as a service. So this is pretty much all of the key streetworks reports that you would expect for your team to produce on a, say, weekly, quarterly basis to be able to monitor performance on a retrospective basis, or even live reports. They are available within reporting as a service. We also work with clients actively to identify their pain points or any kind of business needs that come up, and we are able to design those reports for them. And then we have Reinstatement Manager, which is a really interesting take on permits, but also it goes a level down to help users manage their excavations, and field staff can use Reinstatement Manager on their iPads or mobile devices to be able to look at how they're managing their excavations. Are they ready to reinstate? Are they open? And what state they are in? And again, this comes back to our capability around integration with various other client systems to be able to feed that data into Reinstatement Manager, works management data into it, and then manage the excavations that way.
Sound like a true product owner. Lucy, so all these products that we've got, they're really differentiated, and they address, as I said, specific client challenges. Lucy leads the Skewb services, Skewb Streetwork Services part of the business. So we do have, as I said, a number of practitioners within Skewb. While Soumya and I work largely on the digital side, configuring the products, the practitioners are the people who input into us. And so we actually have a product which is for practitioners by practitioners. And you take this out to the clients to be able to make the improvements that we expect within your Streetworks operations. Can you give us a couple of examples of the outcomes that you've experienced within some of the clients that you've implemented Opus on?
Yeah, sure. So we just heard that there's lots of different modules. So I'll talk about a couple of those in my answer. So firstly, starting with Permit Manager, that really helps our clients be able to see information all in one place in real time, so that they can make the right decisions at the right time to be able to influence the outcome. And we're seeing some of our clients getting fantastic results where they've set out glide paths for improving their compliance performance, and they're seeing 50% reductions in the level of FPNs that they're receiving, whether that's through late start or stop notifications, or notifying of their registrations within 10-day timelines, and managing those all the way through to reducing their overrun charges that they're seeing come through. So in some places we're up to 6-figure sums with some of our older clients of savings that they've achieved since taking Opus on. In other areas we're seeing reductions in staff numbers that are required to carry out processing type activities. And those efficiencies are bringing through those FTE headcount reductions, but then the ability to use FTEs to really look at how improvements can be made rather than in a processing kind of framework. So lots of savings and efficiencies coming through, and benefits from being able to get all that information in one place. So Vince, you told us that you were involved in the creation of Opus from day one. Can you tell us a little bit more about how you see it continuing to grow, and how it's fulfilled your original expectations to date?
Yeah. So it's Opus is my baby. That goes without saying. And I think at Skewb we're nothing if not innovative. So we don't stand still, because we realize that in this industry, if you stand still, then you will start moving backwards. So one of the things that we're really keen to do is use the experience that we've got of the practitioners on the team, along with the experience of our digital team, who have very agile practices, to be able to innovate for the market. So at the moment, we are seeing different challenges that are coming to the market. The Waste Management Act that's coming through, popularly known as RPS 298. It's one that is keeping a lot of COOs awake at night. And part of our challenge is to get a right solution, in tandem with Street Manager, to ensure that we really make this industry adopt that as quickly as possible. And for the at the end of the day, we are looking at ensuring that we categorize waste in the right way and make a difference to the environment. So we also care about what we're doing towards the environment, and we're very keen to ensure that we are first in the market to be able to help the utilities companies around that. We're also thinking about different approaches for managing street work. So at the moment, we still have some very traditional approaches on how we do street works. But I think with the advent of decision science and AI and so on, there's a really, really interesting things that we are kind of trialing in the team. And I think within the next couple of quarters, I think the market should be ready to see some big things coming out in that area. So my key for this is really innovative. We're looking at street works of the future. We are also leveraging parallel products in Skewb Climate, and we are trying to make sure that we build an industry where future professionals are coming in and not seeing street works as some old-fashioned type of area to work in. It's new, it's innovative, and we train the right type of people so we can attract more diverse workforce into this area. So we really keen on all the interesting, innovative things that we can do, and our aim is to be the forefront company in street works in the UK and beyond. Okay, so in that, guys, in terms of the innovations that we're doing, Soumya, do you want to just tell us about some of the innovation practices, both in terms of product delivery or in terms of some of the streetworks things that you've done recently with clients?
Yeah. We are obviously working on version 5 of Street Manager at the moment, and that brings a huge amount of opportunity with all the new functionality that did not exist before, and now we've got all these new workflows, and I think that partly covers your bit around environmental benefits for material classification that's now being brought into Street Manager. So I think there are a lot of things that we could explore in that space. One thing we are really trying to bring in is bring in AI into Streetworks and take Streetworks to the next level. That would be one of our key focus areas. And also better data visualization and bringing in some clever insight so that it helps our users and makes it easier to manage Streetworks.
Okay. Lucy, in terms of different approaches that we can use for our clients, control room, I think, is an approach that we've thought about. You got any views on how using a control room setting can help the Streetworks professionals?
Yeah, so we come down to a couple of areas, don't we? So whenever we're looking at Streetworks, we're looking at how the business performs, and we're also looking at compliance. So there's those two avenues, I guess you could use as a summary. But essentially, this is all about us having the people who are able to make the right decisions. And so there's always a risk of too much jeopardy information and how people can absorb that and manage it in the right way. So starting to move more into the concept of a control room type setting where you have got alerts that help you to understand what needs to be done and when it needs to be done, so that you can reduce the overwhelm of jeopardy management and bring everything into a controlled setting that you can drive and define and achieve the right results that you're looking for. Kind of explains how the control room ethos goes.
So I hope this conversation that we've had kind of gives you a flavor of what we do in Opus, where we've got Streetworks professionals who understand Streetworks inside out. We've got like product designers who design it, which is fit for the purpose of the users. And to my view, is Opus is a product which is for practitioners, by practitioners, and for more information, visit the Skewb experience, and you will see a lot of case studies and some of the wonderful work that we're doing with our clients, and we're looking forward to working with you all. Thank you very much, Soumya and Lucy, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Vince.
Thank you, Vince.